Hey Bride, Susanna here for another episode of Hey Bride TV. Thank you for being here. The other day I was talking to a friend about her relationship with her mother-in-law. And it really didn't start the best way, she was telling me. She told me how it was rough at the beginning. And the mother of the groom was very on top of their things and they simply didn't have the best relationship, and now they do. Thank God they got to the point where they have a great relationship. And I love what she said. She, after sort of fighting, she finally realized that that's a fight she can really have, and she changed her perspective, and with that the relationship changed. I don't know if it's every family or if it's a Latin family or if simply happens randomly. But there's one thing I've learned from my family and from what I've seen before. Women tend to be the head of the household, the one that decides from what they eat or how they eat it to how they spend the holidays. The woman tends to dictate if thank you cards are going out of the house or not, or if details are being, are going to be happening towards teachers, or in Christmas or whatever. Like, we tend to take care of those details. So depending on the type of woman you are, you might connect or not with the mother-in-law right away. But there's one thing that then I was talking to a psychologist and she was telling me, even if you say right now, oh, if I put him in the spot that he has to choose between his mother and me, he would definitely choose me. And it could be true. It could be true that he chooses you, because every human being, is meant to make a new family. It's part of our nature. That's how we keep on humanity going, right? And we have to, get out of the house and do our families, and that's kind of the nature. But it's also our nature to be loyal to our roots, consciously or unconsciously. So even if a guy chooses the wife against the mother, if he's put on that spot of having to choose between one of these two women, even if he chooses one, he will always resent her for it. And this will come out at some point of the relationship. It might not come out directly as, oh, you made me choose between you and my mother, but he might even try to punish unconsciously himself or the relationship or you because of that decision. We're loyal to our parents. We're loyal especially to mom. Again, consciously or unconsciously. Even if it's fully doing exactly the opposite like as she did, is still being loyal to that affected us so much that we need to be extreme, like the extreme opposite of it, but still it's honoring that, if that makes sense. So I think the best approach, again, every relationship is different, and I know how hard it must be to have to say, like, I have done nothing and this this woman is against me or whatever. Try to think from her perspective. Do you have some things in your family that are different than his? Maybe the culture that you have around holidays is different. Would that threaten the mother-in-law, thinking, oh my God, I'm not gonna see my son anymore on the holidays, and God forbid when they have kids, I'm not gonna see my grandkids anymore. Do you really respect her? Do you approach her? Do you really want to connect with her, learning from how he grew up? Do you want to learn something that you might want to pass on to the grandkids so that the grandmother feels like what she's taught them is going to pass on? Try to make an honest connection. You really, really, really don't want to compete with this woman. You don't want to make him choose against you too. In fact, I think that family is one of the most amazing things, and just like any relationship, you're going to have fights, you're going to have disagreements, and that's a given on any sort of relationship. If there's no disagreements in a relationship, somebody's faking it, or both are faking it. So I think that is what I learned from this really interesting conversation, and again, talking to a psychologist afterwards about it. is just trying to be the bigger person, because no matter how big or strong your relationship is, that is her mother, his mother. She's been there since day one. It's his kid. And when you have one, I don't have one, but I can only imagine, you'll probably understand. And you'll probably also need her support in other times in life, from taking care of your kids to simply having your kids grow up knowing that there's a loving grandma there, versus thinking, oh, I believe my grandma is not the best person. That's what I heard from mommy or whatever, you know. I hope this brings some light to somebody. Let me know your thoughts. I mean, I'm talking and I'm thinking it might be just a Latin relationship, or it might be just any just anybody, any family. So I would love to know what you think about this, and if you've had any sort of bad encounter with your mother-in-law and how you resolved it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time on Hey Bride TV.